Did you know your dog's gender can decide whether you get real loyalty or constant anxiety? Whether your bond feels natural or quietly unhealthy? Discover the biology behind it, and you'll understand why so many dog owners quietly regret how they raised their dog. Let's begin. The preference shock. Here's something that'll blow your mind. Your male dog might actually prefer your wife or girlfriend over you, and there's hardcore science to prove it. Back in 1986, researchers conducted a fascinating experiment with 20 dogs, and what they discovered was absolutely stunning. While female dogs approached both men and women equally, male dogs were visibly uncomfortable around unfamiliar men. They hesitated, kept their distance, and avoided body contact. Why? Animal behaviorists discovered that men are genuinely intimidating to male dogs. Think about it. Deeper voices, taller frames, facial hair, broader shoulders. From a dog's perspective, you might look like a walking threat. So if your male dog seems to love your female family members more, now you know why. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Because this gender preference doesn't just affect humans, it completely changes how dogs interact with each other, and you need to know this before getting a second dog. The cross-gender bond. If you're thinking about getting a second dog, listen very carefully to this next fact because it could save you years of household chaos. Multiple research studies and countless animal behaviorists agree. Dogs get along significantly better with the opposite sex. This isn't just some random observation. It's rooted in deep biological programming. Male dogs naturally compete for dominance and territory with other males. Female dogs have their own hierarchy battles with other females. But put a male and female together, the dynamics completely shift. Those natural survival instincts for raising a family actually create balance instead of conflict. Pet owners who ignore this rule often end up with constant fights, stress, and aggression issues. But smart owners? They create peaceful multi-dog households simply by understanding this one biological fact. And speaking of biological drives, the next difference reveals a dark truth about what's really happening in your male dog's brain every time you show him affection. The dopamine addiction. Your male dog isn't loyal. He's literally a dopamine addict, and you're his dealer. Every single time you pet him or say good boy, his brain gets flooded with the exact same chemical rush that creates addiction in humans. Neutered males don't just enjoy this high, they become biologically dependent on it. When you leave, he's not missing you. He's experiencing genuine withdrawal. That's why he destroys furniture, barks endlessly, and has complete meltdowns. He needs that dopamine hit from your attention like an addict needs their fix. Meanwhile, your female dog's brain chemistry works completely differently. She's not wired to become dependent on your validation. When she ignores your affection, she's not being cold or stubborn. She's just operating on different neurological hardware that doesn't require constant approval to function. Normally, males become validation addicts. Females maintain psychological independence. His neediness isn't love, it's chemical dependency. Her independence isn't rejection, it's mental health. And this addiction creates a nightmare scenario that millions of dog owners deal with every single day. The separation. Anxiety crisis. Leave your male dog alone for 30 minutes and watch the absolute breakdown that unfolds. Destroyed couch cushions, scratch marks on doors, barking so intense the neighbors complain. That's not him missing you. That's genuine withdrawal identical to what happens during substance dependency. And here's where it gets worse. Every time you come home and comfort his anxiety, you're rewarding this behavior. You're training his brain that destruction gets your attention. Your female dog? Lock her in the house for 8 hours and she'll sleep peacefully because her brain doesn't require constant validation. His separation anxiety isn't about love, it's about psychological dependence. Her ability to be alone isn't coldness, it's actual mental stability. Same species, catastrophically different brain wiring. But the psychological differences go even deeper when it comes to how they respond to your commands. The obedience manipulation. Your male dog obeys commands instantly, and you think that makes him smart? Wrong. He's obeying because his pack-descended brain is terrified that if he doesn't submit perfectly, you'll abandon him. Every single trick he performs quickly is driven by abandonment panic, not intelligence. That happy tail wag after sitting on command? That's relief flooding through him that you haven't rejected him yet. Your female dog takes her time following commands because she's running a cost-benefit analysis, deciding if your request is worth her energy. She's not being defiant, she's being intelligent and evaluating if this behavior serves any purpose. Males obey from fear and anxiety, females comply from logical decision-making. His speed reveals psychological damage, her hesitation reveals intelligence. Training speed reveals nothing about brain power, only which dog is more psychologically damaged. And this fear-based behavior shows up in the strangest places, even where your dog sleeps at night. The sleeping position. Truth. Where your dog sleeps reveals disturbing truths about their brain. Male dogs sleep directly on your body, crushing your legs or lying on your chest because they're hardwired to maintain physical pack contact even while unconscious. When he's destroying your sleep quality, he's not being affectionate, he's monitoring your breathing to make sure you don't die and leave him alone. His survival is pathetically linked to yours because solo animals didn't survive in the wild. Your female dog sleeps near you but keeps strategic distance at doorways or the bed's edge because she's performing guard duty while you're vulnerable. She's not rejecting affection, she's protecting you from threats. Males sacrifice your comfort for their security needs. Females sacrifice warmth for tactical positioning. His body pressing is selfish desperation. Her distance is selfless protection. But nowhere is this survival programming more obvious than during mealtime. The food guarding. Horror. Your male dog growls over his food bowl even when it's full, and that should concern you. In ancestral packs, weaker males got driven away from food and literally starved. Your boy growling with food right in front of him isn't being aggressive. His brain is experiencing genuine starvation trauma from genetic memory convincing him this might be his last meal. He's living in psychological hell, believing he's moments away from hunger. Your female dog eats small amounts multiple times because her ancestral role was feeding vulnerable puppies first and taking whatever remained. She's not picky. She's a resource management expert who evolved to survive on less. Males guard from terror. Females ration from strategy. His food aggression is evolutionary trauma. Her controlled eating is survival programming. Same bowl of food, but his brain sees life or death crisis while hers sees managed resources. And this survival mentality completely changes how they react when strangers enter your home. The stranger response protocol. When strangers walk into your house, your male dog barks aggressively and you think he's protecting you? Wrong. He's performing dominance displays to establish that he ranks higher than this newcomer before they can challenge his position. That aggressive barking isn't loyalty, it's him establishing hierarchy. Your female dog silently disappears when visitors arrive and you think she's scared. Wrong again. She's executing tactical retreat to observation points where she can assess this potential threat without being detected. She's not hiding, she's gathering intelligence about danger level before deciding on action. Males confront because direct. Intimidation was their survival method. Females observe because invisible surveillance protected their young. His barking is insecure posturing. Her silence is confident assessment. Both are evaluating threats, but his method creates problems while hers creates safety. This difference in brain processing shows up in another bizarre behavior that confuses most owners. The licking obsession. Your male dog licks you constantly until your skin is raw and you think it's affection? In pack structures, submissive members obsessively groomed dominant leaders to avoid getting attacked. When he licks you until you're soaked, he's not showing love. He's performing submission rituals to cement that you outrank him. Every lick is him confirming, I know you're in charge. Your female dog rarely licks humans because in the wild, only mothers groomed puppies. When she finally does lick you after months, it's monumentally significant because she's reclassifying you from pack member to family worth. Caring for. Males lick from hierarchy fear, females lick from selective trust. His constant licking is submission disguised as love, her rare lick is the highest honor possible. Same behavior, but his comes from anxiety while hers comes from respect. And eye contact reveals even more about these psychological differences. The eye contact war. Your male dog stares into your eyes intensely and you think it's connection. In pack hierarchies, sustained eye contact establishes submission acknowledgement. When he stares without blinking, he's confirming, I know you're alpha, please approve of me. That unblinking stare is desperation for validation, not love. Female dogs avoid prolonged eye contact because in the wild, sustained staring meant aggressive challenge. When she looks away quickly after brief contact, she's showing respect and non-threatening intent. Males use eyes for hierarchy confirmation, females use avoidance for conflict prevention. His staring is anxiety, her avoidance is intelligence. Both communicate position, but his method feels demanding while hers gets misread as disobedience. But let's talk about lifespan, because this difference could cost you years with your companion. The lifespan shock. Here's a heartbreaking truth. Female dogs live significantly longer than males, and the difference is bigger than you think. Large-scale veterinary studies have proven that spayed female dogs live 26% longer than intact females. But the biggest lifespan gap isn't about gender, it's about whether your dog is fixed. Unneutered male dogs face devastating risks: testicular cancer, prostate disease, and dangerous wandering behaviors. One veterinary database, tracking over 10,000 dogs, found that neutered males consistently outlived intact males by nearly 2 full years. 2 years of companionship lost simply because of one decision. The oldest dog ever verified by records was Bluey, a female Australian cattle dog who lived to 29 years and 5 months. Among the top 10 longest living dogs ever recorded, 7 were female. This isn't coincidence, it's biology. And biology creates another shocking difference that every family needs to know: the aggression reality. This statistic should make every family think twice. Male dogs are 6 times more likely to bite than female dogs. 6 times. A comprehensive study analyzing 20 different breeds found that male dogs showed significantly more aggression toward both other dogs and human strangers. Intact male dogs were the most aggressive of all. Testosterone plays a massive role in dominance behaviors, territorial aggression, and competitive fighting. Now here's the important context. Upbringing and training matter more than gender. A well-trained male from a loving home is far less aggressive than a neglected female. But all things being equal, biology creates a clear pattern. Male dogs have higher aggression potential, period. This biological reality affects everything from how they mark territory to how they interact with your kids. Speaking of marking territory, this next behavior drives male dog owners absolutely crazy. The marking madness. Every male dog owner knows this frustration. Constant urine marking on every tree, pole, and corner during walks. While both genders mark with urine, males do it compulsively for 2 powerful reasons. First, they're advertising their availability. Each mark contains chemical signals about their age, health, and fertility. Second, they're establishing dominance hierarchies. A study published in the Journal of Animal Behavior revealed something incredible. High-status dogs mark territory significantly more often than low-status dogs. So if your male dog is marking everywhere, he genuinely believes he's king of the neighborhood. Neutered males mark less frequently, but that biological urge never completely disappears. And females have their own nightmare cycle that transforms their behavior twice a year. The heat cycle chaos. If you've never dealt with a female dog in heat, you're unprepared for what's coming. Twice a year, unspayed females go through a cycle so intense it transforms their entire personality. For 2 to 3 weeks, your sweet dog becomes anxious, stressed, and desperately focused on finding a male to breed with. She'll produce bloody discharge, try to escape at every opportunity, and urinate frequently to leave scent marks advertising her. Availability. The behavioral changes are dramatic. Flirting with males, positioning herself for breeding, becoming aggressive toward other females. This happens twice every year until you spay her. Female owners often feel completely overwhelmed during heat cycles. But here's something that surprises every dog lover about male parental instincts: the fatherhood failure. Male dogs make absolutely terrible fathers. While mother dogs are protective and nurturing, father dogs show complete disinterest in their offspring. They don't help feed them, don't protect them, and don't participate in raising them. This is shocking compared to wolves. Male gray wolves are exceptional fathers who bring food, fiercely protect their pups, and help teach survival skills. But domestication completely erased these paternal instincts in dogs. Thousands of years of selective breeding accidentally eliminated fatherhood behaviors. If you're breeding dogs and expecting the father to help, don't. He'll walk away without a second thought. Here's a bizarre fact that sounds made up but is backed by research. The paw preference. Most female dogs are right-pawed, while male dogs show more variation. Scientists discovered dogs have a dominant paw, just like humans have a dominant hand. They tested which paw dogs used first when reaching for food, walking downstairs, or retrieving toys. Female dogs showed a strong preference for their right paw significantly more often than males. Researchers believe it's connected to brain lateralization and how male and female brains process information differently. Some veterinary neurologists think testosterone affects paw preference development. Trainers who understand paw dominance can teach tricks more effectively, and size differences between genders are impossible to ignore. The size dominance. Males are significantly larger than females. Bigger chests, heavier bones, larger heads, more muscle mass, all thanks to testosterone. The world's tallest dog ever recorded was Zeus, a male Great Dane who stood 3 feet and 5.18 inches tall. He could look most humans in the eye while on all fours. Zorba, a male English Mastiff, weighed 343 pounds, heavier than most adult humans. This size difference has real implications. Larger dogs need more food, bigger spaces, stronger leashes, and they're harder to control without proper training. Female dogs of the same breed are typically 15 to 20% smaller, making them more manageable. But there's a heartbreaking reality happening in animal shelters right now. Adoption bias. Male dogs spend significantly longer in animal shelters waiting for adoption than females. An average of 6.6 months for males versus 5.5 months for females. But this bias isn't about adopter preference. Males have a biological tendency to escape when they detect females in heat. They'll jump fences, dig under gates, break through barriers. Many escaped males never find their way home and end up in shelters. Shelters become flooded with lost male dogs, creating longer wait times. Some will never see their families again, all because of uncontrollable biological urges. Neutering would prevent most of these escapes. And training reveals another fundamental difference in how their brains work. The training differences. Male and female dogs respond to training in fundamentally different ways. Female dogs typically mature faster than males, a 6 to 12-month developmental advantage. Female puppies often pick up house training and basic commands significantly quicker. But here's the crucial detail. Male dogs aren't less intelligent, they're just more easily distracted. That testosterone-driven brain constantly scans for threats, mates, and dominance challenges. Professional trainers use shorter, more frequent sessions with males because their attention spans are genuinely shorter. Females can focus for 20 to 30 minutes, males max out at 10 to 15 minutes. Males respond better to firm, consistent leadership because they're testing dominance hierarchies. Females respond better to positive reinforcement and relationship building. Understanding. Gender-based learning styles means working with biology instead of against it. But there's one medical fact that could literally save your dog's life. The cancer risks. Gender dramatically affects cancer risk. Intact female dogs face a devastating 25% chance of developing mammary tumors by age 10, and 50% of those tumors are malignant. 1 in 4 unspayed females will develop breast cancer, but spaying before the first heat cycle reduces this risk by 99%. Almost complete prevention. Male dogs face testicular cancer, affecting nearly 7% of intact males. Neutering eliminates this risk entirely. Prostate disease affects over 80% of unneutered males over age 5, leading to painful urination, infections, and potential cancer. Veterinary oncology data is crystal clear. Altered dogs of both genders have dramatically lower cancer rates. Yet millions of owners never spay or neuter, unknowingly sentencing their pets to preventable diseases. And finally, there's one behavioral difference that explains storm and firework reactions. The anxiety patterns. Female dogs experience anxiety disorders at significantly higher rates than males. Research found females are 35% more likely to develop noise phobias, separation anxiety, and generalized anxiety disorders. During thunderstorms or fireworks, females show more intense fear responses: trembling, hiding, destructive behavior, even self-injury attempting to escape. Why? Estrogen and progesterone affect how female brains process fear and stress. These hormones increase sensitivity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, making females more reactive to perceived threats. Males with higher testosterone tend to respond to scary situations with aggression or territorial behavior rather than fear-based anxiety. For owners, this means females often need more reassurance, counter-conditioning training, and sometimes anti-anxiety medication. Your female dog isn't being dramatic. Her brain is literally wired to experience fear more intensely. The loyalty truth. Here's the brutal truth. Neither gender is more loyal. They're both loyal in ways that serve their survival. Male dogs are loyal because pack abandonment meant death. Female dogs are loyal because secure bonds enabled offspring survival. Both are using you for biological advantages. The real question isn't who loves more, it's which survival strategy you can tolerate for 15 years. Desperate clingy attachment or independent selective bonding? Constant neediness or strategic cooperation? That's your actual choice. His attachment is desperation. Her bonding is intelligence. Neither is better, they're just profoundly different. Choose the survival strategy that fits your lifestyle, your family, and your ability to handle their unique biological drives. If you found these facts shocking, hit that like button and subscribe. What gender is your dog, and does this match your experience? Drop a comment below.